Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me for class today. Today I'm filming in beautiful Nosara, Costa Rica at the Costa Rica Yoga Spa. And we are currently at the end of our retreat and feeling a little sad about that, but we are going to just open our hearts to the present moment with a heart-opening class this afternoon, which is exactly where we began 1 week ago. So go ahead and lay down on your back. You can take butterfly legs or straight legs. Place one hand on your heart and place the other hand on top of your hand. So you have your hand stacked on your heart. So just bringing all of your attention and your awareness to your heart center. And we'll begin this afternoon with some breathing. So go ahead and start with a cleansing breath. Breathe in through your nose. Let it go through your mouth. Begin to breathe in and out through your nose. Begin to connect with your Ujjayi Pranayama, gently constricting the back of your throat, making your breath audible. And as you begin to hear the sound of your breath, can you lengthen your inhale and lengthen your exhale? Draw your breath deeper to your belly. Fill up your belly, then your lungs, and then let your heart lift underneath your hands. Release from your heart center, your ribs, your lungs, and then your belly. We shall not cease from exploration. And at the end of all of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know this place for the very first time. Before we begin to move our bodies, take a moment to set an intention for your practice. Drawing something toward your heart and your mind that you want out of this time here in this space on your yoga mat. Breathe it into your heart. Hold it. Exhale your breath and release your hands down by your body. Gently draw your knees into center. Have a loose grip on your knees and begin to make circles with your knees, massaging out your low back. Go gently and slowly in one direction. Pause and take your hip circles in the opposite direction. Just bringing some mobility into your hips, massaging out your low back. And come back to center. Draw your knees into your chest a little bit tighter now, maybe reaching opposite hand toward opposite wrist or opposite elbow. Try to keep your toes, heels, and knees side by side. Exhale out all of your air and place your left foot on the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left knee for reclined pigeon pose. From here, you have the option of lifting your left foot up off the floor. You can hold on to the back of your thigh or your shin. Draw your left knee in and press your right knee slightly forward to deepen into the stretch. Make sure that you stay active in your feet, keeping your toes in line with your heels. Breathe in, hug a little bit tighter. Exhale, release your left foot to the floor and bring your right foot to the left. So you're in a twist. Bring your arms either to goalpost or T, and you can look up at the ceiling or you can bring your gaze to the right. Take a full inhale and exhale. Come back towards center. Keep your left foot where it is and extend your right leg up to the ceiling. You can take your hands around the back of your right thigh, maybe walking them up toward your calf or your ankle. And of course, you always have the option of releasing your left leg along on your mat. Start to point and flex your right foot. Draw circles in one direction. Draw circles in the opposite direction. And now bring your right knee toward your right shoulder. So take your hands, interlace them around the top of your leg and bring a tight squeeze to your right hip. Flex all 10 toes back toward both knees. Draw your elbows in and down. Now place your right foot on the floor so your leg is bent, knee pointing up, and cross your left ankle over your right knee. For reclined pigeon pose, bring your right foot up off the floor, hold on to the back of your right thigh, or reach around for the front of your right shin. Flex all 10 toes back toward both knees. Hug your right knee in and press your left knee forward to deepen your stretch. Breathe in. Exhale, release your right foot to the floor, and then you're going to twist to the right, and that is the beautiful sound of a howler monkey hanging out in the trees next to us. You can take your arms to goalpost or T. Gaze can be up toward the ceiling or to the left. Bring your legs back to center. Keep your right foot where it is and extend your left leg up toward the ceiling. You can take your hands around the back of your left thigh or start to walk it up toward your left calf. An option to extend your right leg long on your mat. From here, you can begin to point and flex your left foot. And draw circles with your ankle in one direction. In the opposite direction. And then bring your left knee toward your chest, interlace your fingers around your leg, draw your elbows in and down towards your mat. Flex all 10 toes back toward both knees. Relax the grip on your left knee, draw both knees in. Start to roll the length of your spine 3 times back and forth, and we'll all meet in a tabletop position after your last roll. Let's continue to open the heart and warm up the spine with some cats and cows. Breathe in for cow pose, dropping your belly, lifting the crown of your head and your tailbone, and then breathe out for cat pose. Lift and separate your shoulder blades, look toward your belly button, and just start to go back and forth, remembering to listen to the sound of your breath as it travels in and out through your nose, and begin to match your movements with the length of your breath. Take one more cow and one more cat wherever you're at, and we'll meet back in tabletop position. In tabletop position, lengthen and flatten your spine. So you have one long line from the crown of your head all the way back to your tailbone. On your next breath in, reach your right arm up, look up toward your fingertips. Try to keep your hips level and start to reach your right arm toward your left hip for a half bind pose. Start to roll your shoulder open. Option here to release your ear toward your shoulder if you don't have any tension in your neck. So it's just a little stretch for the side of your neck. If you took that option, bring your head back to neutral, lift your arm up, and then slide your right arm behind your left for thread the needle. Take your shoulder and your ear down onto the floor. Rest the entire weight of your head on the floor. Keep your hips up over your knees. Breathe in, unwind. Exhale, release. And switch sides. So reach your left arm up. Look up towards your fingertips. And then for the half bind, you're gonna reach around toward your hip. You can also take hold of your shirt or rest your hand on your low back. Start to roll your shoulder open. And then option to release right ear toward right shoulder to stretch the side of your neck. Take it slow, don't just drop your head. If you released your head, bring it back to neutral so it's in line with your spine. Lift your left arm up. And for thread the needle, slide your left arm behind your right, come onto your shoulder and your ear, and keep your hips high. Breathe deeply here. Unwind from your twist. Exhale, release, tabletop position. All right. Reach your right arm forward and your left leg back in preparation for swan pose, which is a beautiful heart opener and back bend. So bend your left leg, reach your right hand around for the inside of your foot. Take hold of your foot, start to kick your foot into your hand and lift. So lift through the crown of your head without throwing your head back. Breathe into the front of your body, opening your heart center. And slowly release back to spinal balance first without flinging your leg back, and then release to tabletop position. And we'll switch sides. Extend your left arm forward and your right arm back. For swan pose, bend your right leg, reach your left hand around for the inside of your foot. Get a nice grip on your foot and start to kick your foot into your hand as you lift through the crown of your head and create a nice arch in your spine. Extend your left arm long and your right leg back. Breathe in, and then exhale, tabletop position. All right, we have to take Anahatasana, heart melting pose. So if you need to, you can move back on your mat. Keep your hips over your knees. Walk your hands forward and to the corners, toward the corners of your mat. Release all the way down. Focus on the opening in your chest. Rest your head down, either your chin, nose, or forehead. Take 2 more breaths here. Walk your hands back. Bring your knees together. Separate your feet, sit your hips between your heels. You can place a block underneath your hips for hero pose. You can recline if you'd like. We're gonna open up the quadriceps, the knees, and the front of the body. And take 3 more breaths here. If you're reclined, come all the way back up. And now separate your knees and bring your toes together for child's pose. Complete your exhale and come into downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, release your heels. Check in with your alignment here in your first downward facing dog. Make sure that your feet are at hip distance apart and your hands are at shoulder distance apart. Shake out your head, releasing tension from your neck. When you look back at your toes, make sure that your heels are disappearing behind your toes. Take one more breath in downward facing dog. Walk your feet toward your hands, bend your legs for ragdoll. You can release your hands toward the floor, or you can take opposite hand toward opposite elbow. Release your hands toward the floor and roll up to standing. When you arrive in standing, find mountain pose, rolling your shoulders down away from your ears, spreading your toes wide, really grounding through your feet. Engage through your legs and your core. Lift your sternum up, opening your chest. Palms face out, arms are engaged. On your next breath in, lift your arms up. Maybe look up toward your fingertips. And then exhale, blossom your arms open, draw your elbows down, hold here, take a full breath. Lift your arms up, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold, this time hinging from your hips, coming down with a nice long straight spine. Inhale, lengthen your spine in monkey pose. Exhale, pause here. Breathe in. Exhale, ball of yarn. Bend your legs, lift your heels, come down into a little ball. Find a place to gaze in front of you on the floor and maybe take opposite hand toward opposite elbow to test your balance. Option, of course, to keep your hands on the floor. Breathe in. And exhale. Release your hands to the floor or blocks. Keep your heels lifted. Inhale, forward fold with lifted heels. Exhale, release your heels to the floor. Inhale, rise, hinging from your hips with a long, straight spine. Exhale, blossom, open. Tall mountain, inhale. Now interlace your fingers, release your index fingers for Arrow Mudra. Squeeze your biceps to your ears and exhale to the left for side moon pose. Keep your shoulder in line with your hips. Make sure you stay engaged through your core and you don't round your shoulder forward. Lengthen a little bit more through your fingertips. Inhale back to center and switch sides. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale, blossom. Breathe in, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, ball of yarn. Last time, inhale, keep your heels lifted, forward fold with lifted heels. Exhale, release your heels. Inhale, rise high for tall mountain. And this time on your exhale, slide your left arm down your left leg, reach your right arm across. So flowing breath to movement. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the opposite side. Inhale to center. Exhale, open your chest, draw your elbows down. Breathe in, tall mountain. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, monkey. And exhale, fold. Plant your hands on the floor, step back to high plank. Modification for high plank is knees on the floor. Hold here for 5. Inhale, shift forward, exhale, lower down, nice and slow for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your hands right where they are. Take your feet flat to the floor. Inhale, low cobra. Peel your chest up off the floor. Exhale, release. Move your hands back so they're in line with your ribs. Inhale, peel up past your lowest rib. Reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, lower down. Move your hands back so they're below your ribs. Inhale to high cobra, straightening your arms all the way, but keeping a soft bend in your elbows. Hold here. Take your chin to your left shoulder, look to the left. Come back to center, switch sides. Come back to center. From here, tuck your toes under, lift your knees up off the floor, activating your legs, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and out. Lift your right leg high, open your hip and bend your leg. Take one full breath here. Breathe in and out. Level your hips, straighten your leg, and then bring your knee toward your nose, round your spine, step your foot between your hands, lower your back knee to the floor. Bring your arms up overhead, connect the palms of your hands, cross your thumbs, bring the thumbs to the back of your head. Draw your elbows up and back, look up. Bring your shoulders back over your hips, extend your arms up, but keep the palms of your hands connected. Bring them to your heart and twist. Left elbow, right knee. Press the palms of your hands together and then twist deeper, bringing your sternum closer to your thumbs. Release from your twist. Place both hands to the inside of your right foot and heel toe your right foot out toward the edge of your mat. Begin to bend your left leg. Reach your right hand around for your left foot. Okay, for the twist with the heart opener, begin to kick your foot into your hand. Roll your chest open, maybe look up. Just kind of use your leg as a bit of a lever to deepen your twist and your heart opener. Gently release your back foot to the floor and then heel toe your foot back to center. So you're in low lunge. Lift your knee up off the floor. Inhale, high plank pose. And this time exhale, chaturanga, coming halfway down. Upward dog is your breath in, and downward dog is your breath out. Take one inhale and exhale here. Lift your left leg up, open your hip, bend your leg. Take a full breath here. Straighten your leg, level your hips, bring your knee to your nose and step your foot between your hands. Lower your back knee to the floor. Lift your arms up overhead, connect the palms of your hands and opposite cross to your thumbs. Bring your thumbs to the back of your head. Press the back of your head to your thumbs, lift your elbows up and take a little back bend here. Bring your shoulders back up over your hips, reach your arms up, keep your palms connected and take them to your heart. From here, twist to the left, bringing your right elbow to your left knee. Press the palms of your hands together, twist deeper, rotating your sternum toward your thumbs. Come back to center. Release your hands to the inside of your left foot. Heel toe your left foot out toward the edge of your mat and begin to bend your right leg. Reach your left hand around for your foot. Once you take hold of your foot, you're actually, instead of drawing it in, you're kicking it out, using it as a lever to start to open your shoulder, your chest, maybe look up and twist. Gently release your back foot to the floor, heel toe your foot back to center. Lift your knee up off the floor. High plank, inhale. Low plank, exhale. Lower it halfway down. Inhale, upward dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to take 5 rounds of sun salutations. Breath to movement. We're nice and warmed up now. So look toward your hands. Step, walk, or float to the front of your mat. As you breathe out, fold deeply. Inhale, tall mountain, rise up. And on your exhale breath, hinge from your hips, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, step, walk, float back from high plank to low plank. Your inhale breath is up dog, and your exhale breath is downward facing dog. Deep breath in, deep breath out. On your next inhale, step, walk, or float to the front of your mat, and exhale to fold. Rise high, tall mountain. Exhale, fold. Monkey. And chaturanga. Upward dog on your inhale, downward dog on your exhale. Breathe in and out. Step, walker, float to the front of your mat and fold. Tall mountain. Forward fold. Monkey. And chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. And exhale. 2 more on your own. Breath to movement. Any variations are welcome. Come to child's pose for 3 breaths. Return to downward facing dog. On your next breath in, step your foot forward for warrior 1, so a bit of a shorter stance. Place your back heel on the floor. Breathe in, rise up, warrior one. Draw your pinky fingers in and lower your shoulders away from your ears. Nice lunge in your front leg while keeping your hips squared to the front of the room. Breathe in. Exhale, bring your hands behind your back. For humble warrior, expand your chest. Inhale here, and then exhale, bring your right shoulder toward the inside of your right knee. Let your head be heavy as you gaze back toward your back foot. On your next breath in, come back to warrior one, releasing your hands on the way. And then exhale, standing splits. You're gonna step onto your right foot, release your hands to blocks or to the floor. Keep your hips level as you reach your left heel higher. Breathe in here. Exhale, step back to low lunge. As soon as your foot reaches the floor, lift your hands up off the floor and come to crescent lunge. Breathe in here. As you exhale, lower your back knee toward the floor without touching and cactus your arms, maybe back bend looking up. Inhale, press it back up to crescent lunge. On your exhale breath, release your left heel to the floor, open to the side for warrior two. Take another full breath in your warrior two. Exhale here. Inhale. Reverse triangle, so straighten your front leg, reach up and back, and exhale, prepare yourself for triangle pose by reaching your right arm forward and releasing it down toward a block or the floor. You can rest it on your shin if you don't put a lot of weight into your hand. You can gaze down at your right foot or up toward your left fingertips. Take another full breath in triangle pose. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Take your toes out, reach your arms up, press your palms forward, and then exhale, bring your hands to your heart and sink down into a squat. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess pose. Bring your arms to 90 degrees, sink down into your squat. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, sun god. Bring your arms parallel to the earth, palms face up, sink down into your squat. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Exhale, moon god. Bring your elbows in, palms face out, sink back into your squat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Inhale, 5-pointed star. And then exhale, bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers once again. Press your fists down, place your heels behind your toes. Exhale, standing straddle splits. So hinging from your hips, reach your arms up and over the back of your head. Let your head be heavy so you have no tension in your neck. You should be able to wobble or shake, yes or no. On your next breath in, come up to prayer squat. So you're gonna bend your legs, bring your hands to heart center, point your toes out. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Okay, breath to movement. We've done this before. Bring your hands to your heart. Exhale, now point your fingertips down. Scoop it up as you breathe in. Breathe in. Exhale, sink down. Flip your hands, breathe in. Exhale. Last time. Exhale, squat. Breathe in, 5-pointed star, and this time on your exhale, warrior two, face the front of your mat. Stay low in your lunge. Reverse warrior, breathe in, stretch through your right side. Exhale, low lunge, lift your heel up off the floor. Inhale, high plank. We'll meet back in downward facing dog, chaturanga if you'd like, on your exhale breath. Inhale to up dog, exhale to downward facing dog. Deep breath in and out. Lift your left leg, step your left foot forward in preparation for warrior one. Place your back heel on the floor, inhale. Lift your arms up overhead, hold here. Spiral your pinky fingers in, lower your shoulders away from your ears. Sink into your left knee, keep your hips squared to the front of your mat. Breathe in. Exhale, take your hands behind your back. As you breathe in, press your fists down the back of your leg, maybe look up. Exhale, humble warrior. Bring your left shoulder to the inside of your left leg. Look back towards your right foot. Breathe in, warrior one. Release your hands on the way. Lift your arms up. Exhale, standing splits pose. Bring your hands to the floor or blocks. Lift your right leg up off the floor. Look back toward the back of your mat. Keep your hips level and lift your heel a little bit higher as you breathe in. Big breath out. Place your right foot on the floor. As soon as your foot lands on the floor, start to lift your hands up off the floor. One slow, fluid transition. Inhale here. And then exhale, cactus your arms, dip your knee down just so that it hovers. Inhale, press it up. Exhale, warrior two. Hold here, one full inhale. Exhale. Straighten through your left leg, lean back, reverse triangle pose. Stretch through your left side. Then as you exhale, reach your left arm forward and release it down toward a block or the floor or your shin for Trikonasana, triangle pose. If you have your hand on your shin, just don't put a lot of weight there. Inhale, five-pointed star. Rise up, toes out. Exhale, one squat, hands to your heart. Rise high, five-pointed star. And then take your heels behind your toes, hinge from your hips, standing straddle splits. On your next breath in, lengthen your spine in a halfway lift. Walk your hands forward, keep your feet where they are. Place your hands at shoulder distance apart and press back, wide-legged downward facing dog. And start to press your chest toward your feet. Release into your shoulders. Stretch the backs of your legs. Walk your hands back to your halfway lift. So you have a nice long spine with your head in line with your tailbone. And then rise up, five-pointed star again on your breath in. Exhale, warrior two, face the front of your mat, sink low into your front leg. Reverse warrior, stretch back. Low lunge, plant your hands, lift your heel. High plank, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale if you'd like. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Exhale here. Okay, we're gonna flow breath to movement. Take an exhale. On your next inhale, step your right foot forward for warrior one. Plant your heel, rise up, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands behind your back. Breathe in, open your chest. Breathe out, bow forward. Right away, come back to warrior one. So as you breathe in, sweep your arms up, separate your hands. Exhale, standing splits. Take one breath in. Exhale, left foot to the floor. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, five-pointed star. Exhale, prayer squat. Five-pointed star. Warrior two. Reverse triangle. Triangle pose. Reverse triangle. Take a slight bend to your front leg and launch into half moon pose, lifting your left foot up off the floor. For sugar cane pose, bend your left leg, take your foot from the outside, press your foot into your hand. If you feel balanced, you can lift your gaze. Very slowly, if you have sugar cane pose, if you have your foot in your hand, come back to half moon pose. Exhale, low lunge. So you're gonna level your hips, plant your hands, step your foot back, and make your way to downward facing dog. Exhale. Step your left foot forward for warrior one. Plant your right heel down, lift your arms up off the floor, maybe look up. Hands behind your back. Breathe in, open your chest. Breathe out, bow forward for humble warrior. On your next breath in, you're gonna come all the way back up to warrior one. Release your hands. Exhale, standing splits. Take one breath here. Inhale. Exhale, step your right foot back. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, five-pointed star. Exhale, goddess pose. Bring your arms to 90 degrees. Sink down into your hips. Inhale, five-pointed star. Exhale, warrior two on your left leg. Reverse triangle, straighten your front leg, lean back, and exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, reverse triangle, keep your legs straight. Exhale, a little bend to your left leg as you come into half moon pose. Put your right leg up off the floor. Make sure that your right hip is stacked over your left. You're open to the side. For sugar cane, bend your right leg, take your foot from the outside. Start to kick your foot back. And again, if you feel balanced and steady, you can look up toward the ceiling. Open your chest a little bit more, open your throat. With control, return to half moon pose if you have Chapasana, and step back, low lunge. Make your way to downward facing dog. Take one breath in downward facing dog. Look toward your hands and step or float through to seated. Bend your legs, place your feet on the floor and roll down onto your back. And take a breath here. Plant firmly into your feet. Press your palms into the earth and lift your hips up for bridge pose. Try to keep your knees in line with your hips and your knees directly over your ankles. Option here to interlace your fingers and roll onto the outer edges of your shoulders, lifting your heart and the front of your body a little bit higher. Take 3 more breaths in bridge pose. Exhale, lower down onto your back. For constructive rest posture, just bring your knees to touch, gentle release of your low back. Breathe softly here. Draw your knees into your chest. Roll the length of your spine one time. Come up to seated. Cross your ankles and make your way onto your shins, preparing for Ustrasana, camel pose. So bring your knees to hip distance apart. Bring your shoulders directly over your hips. And place your hands on your low back with your fingers pointed down, like you're putting them into your back pockets. Start to press your hips forward. Lift your sternum up toward the ceiling, and then option to bring your hands towards your heels. You can just stay upright, lifting your chest a little bit higher toward the ceiling. Take one more breath. Exhale, come back up. Release your hips toward your heels. Rest your hands on your thighs. You can take your right hand palm face up in your lap. Place your left hand palm face up on top of your right. Connect your thumbs. Make a circle. Close your eyes. Take a moment here to reconnect to your intention that you set for yourself at the beginning of class. Return to your deep, slow, smooth, and steady inhales and exhales. Counter pose camel with rabbit. Take your hands behind your heels. If you don't like rabbit pose, take embryo pose. I will cue that as well. For rabbit, you're going to bring your chin to your chest, begin to round your shoulders forward. So this is opening heart center in the backside of our body. Take the crown of your head down toward your mat without putting a lot of weight into the top of your head. Begin to lift your hips until they come up and over your knees. For embryo pose, you're going to round forward, rest the tops of your arms alongside of your body, your palms face up, your forehead rests on your mat. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Your next breath in, lift your right leg up and step your foot between your hands. Up to crescent lunge on your breath in. And then make your way to airplane pose. So stepping onto your right foot, lift your left leg up off the floor. And then right away, bring your left knee forward. Take hold of your left knee with your hands. Hug your knee in toward your chest, but up toward your left shoulder, so you have a compression in your left hip. And then for our standing heart opener, dancer pose, you're gonna take your left hand palm face up and reach for the inside of your left foot. So your left elbow faces out. Lift your arm up, your right arm up, and start to kick your foot into your hand. Opening the entire front side of your body in dancer pose, nice back bend. Keep your neck nice and long and your gaze steady for one more breath. On your inhale, come to tall mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and fold. step back to downward facing dog. On your next breath in, lift your left leg up, step forward. Crescent lunge, rise up. Breath to movement here. Exhale, airplane. Inhale, draw your right knee in. Hold onto your knee with your hands. Nice tight squeeze of your knee toward your right shoulder. And then dancer pose. Bring your left palm to face up and take hold of your right foot from the inside. Draw your knees together, lift your left arm up. Kick your foot into your hand for dancer pose. Inhale to tall mountain and fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, fold. And step back to down dog. In preparation for half pigeon, lift your right leg up. Bring your right shin, right knee toward your right wrist, right toes toward your left wrist. Let's take the chest expansion first. So take your hands behind your back. Start to open your chest, press your fists down, maybe look up. And then you can come down into sleeping pigeon. Take one hand on top of the other or place your head on a block, or you can make fists if you want. Focus on the quality and the length of your inhales and your exhales. Free to stay right where you are. If you want one more chest expansion, you can come up onto your hands. You're gonna bend your left leg and you're gonna take your left ankle with your left hand from the outside. Take your right hand, reach around for the inside of your left ankle. Flex your toes back and kick your leg back. Again, you're kind of using it as a lever to open your chest. You can take any other options that you like here. If you like mermaid, or if you like the quadriceps stretch, you can draw your heel in. Whatever variation you're in, we're gonna take about 3 more breaths. Exhale. Back up onto your hands. Any pigeon release that you like, I'm gonna offer you Wild Thing, but if you'd like to just step back into downward facing dog, that's an option as well. If you like Wild Thing, you can lift your right leg up and flip over, releasing your right foot to the floor. And start to lift your hips and reach your right arm back, maybe look back. Make your way back to downward facing dog. In preparation for half pigeon on your left side, lift your left leg up. Bring your left shin toward parallel with the front of your mat. If that feels very uncomfortable, you can just draw your left heel further in. For the chest expansion, take your hands behind your back, press your fists down, open, maybe look up. And then you can release into sleeping pigeon, taking your forehead towards your mat, hands, or a block. Slow and steady your breathing. Stay in your resting pigeon, or take any of those variations on your left side. For the chest expansion, which I'll cue you into, you can bend your right leg, take your foot, your ankle from the outside with your right hand and your ankle from the inside with your left hand. You can flex your toes back and just start to kick your foot back to open your chest. If you would prefer mermaid or king pigeon or the quadriceps stretch, those are all options as well. Wherever you are, take 3 more breaths. Any release is welcome. For Wild Thing, if you want to take that option, you're gonna lift your left leg up, open your hip and bend your leg. You can release your left foot to the floor. Lift your hips up, reach your arm back, maybe look back. Return to downward facing dog. And then make your way through to a seated pose. Okay, we're gonna take seated straddle splits. So bring your legs open any distance that you can still maintain an upright spine. Point your knees and your toes up toward the ceiling, either hands behind your hips, supporting you here, or you can walk your hands forward. As you come forward, don't let your knees and toes fall forward, but keep them engaged and active the entire time to protect your inner thighs and your hamstrings. Your hands back up if you're folded forward. And then for tortoise pose, you're gonna bend both legs, bring them a little bit further in. Bring both of your arms to the inside of both of your legs and start to reach underneath your legs so that your hands are on the outside of your feet. You're gonna start to walk your feet forward and then shimmy your hands out. Your spine is rounded in this posture. You can start to release your forehead down toward the floor. Okay, and start to make your way out of it. You can slide your hands out from underneath your legs. And then take your hands, bring your legs back in. If you have a block with you, take your block with you. If you don't, we're coming into fish posture. If you'd like support, monkeys interrupting me. If you like supported fish, you can take your block, place it at any height underneath your shoulder blades, or right below your shoulder blades. You just kind of have to move around to get the position right. And then release your head back, open your arms, release your legs long. So a supported heart opener. If you can, really release into this posture, letting gravity do its work, opening your shoulders, opening your chest. you don't have a block with you, for fish pose, you can place your forearms on the floor, so it's a more active pose. Lift and open your chest and release your head back. Gently roll to the side and release the block out from underneath you. An option here for one more bridge or wheel. Bend your legs, place your feet on the floor. Lift your hips up. For wheel, you would just flip your hands up and over and press your hips up. When you're ready, you can release down onto your back. Take any variation of a spinal twist that you'd like, just releasing your knees to the right first. Back through center and release your knees to the left. Come back through center. Happy baby if you'd like. And separate your knees and feet and rock side to side. Or making our way toward Shavasana. So any other movements that you'd like before Shavasana, feel free to take those now. Get yourself comfortable on your mat. Close your pranayama practice with a cleansing breath. Breathe in through your nose, hold it at the top. A little extra sip of air here. Exhale through your mouth. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, roll your wrists and your ankles. Slowly make your way to a full body stretch, reaching your arms up overhead. Taking a deep breath in, making your way onto your side. We shall not cease from exploration. And at the end of all of our exploring, we will arrive where we started and know this place for the very first time. Take this final moment here in gratitude for this time, this space, our yoga community. Slowly press your way up to seated. Draw your hands to your heart center. Let's close our practice today by chanting one Om together. Breathe in. Exhale through your mouth. Breathe in for Om. Tonight, as you go forward, may you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, peace in your heart. From my heart to each and every one of yours, namaste.